Yow, yow, yow. What up, what up, what up, my betting family? We back with another video here at No Limit Bets for the NBA slate of March 6, 2023. Before we get started, though, as always, I would like to say good morning to y'all, good afternoon, whatever time it may be that you're watching this video. Hope y'all having a good one, and hopefully we can make it a better day by winning some money. Also, if you guys are new to the channel, please like, comment, and subscribe, man. It's truly appreciated. We're currently on the road to 500 subscribers, and we're less than 100 subscribers away from hitting that mark. So I definitely appreciate all the love and support that you guys have shown this far. But without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into today's picks. Just to do a quick recap of yesterday's slips that I did submit. I believe it was a total of 4 or 5 of them. With this one, we were one away from the full sweep on this slip, as Russell Westbrook comes up short with we took his over on 13, pretty much 12.5 rebounds and assists. He needed to get 13. He only ends up with 11, comes up just short. So 5-1 in this one. We were able to double up our money. This next one here, we were able to get some of our money back, as we were able to go 4-2. Porzingis, as you guys can see, came up right on the hook, and then Giannis ended up with a triple-double. He really wasn't as aggressive trying to score the ball. He just had a pretty much a great all-around game. As I mentioned, ended up with a triple-double. So for this one, we got some of our money back. This next one here, we were able to double up our money, as we were able to go 4-1. Wendell Carter was a DNP, and Cameron Johnson only hits 1-3. Thought he was going to be able to hit 3, but obviously that didn't happen, as he only ends up with 1. So able to double up our money with this one, which is good. We had another one here. This was the picks that we posted on yesterday's video. We were able to get some of our money back as we went 4-2. We're going to come right back to this one real quick. And this is the last one here, I believe, which we also went 4-2 and got some of our money back. So just to recap really quick, the picks that we did post on yesterday's video. Markelle Fultz was able to get his PRAs. Luka Doncic, it was a little bit of a sweat, as he hit a couple free throws towards the end of the game to get him to 34. And he also missed a wide open floater that he pretty much makes, 9 out of 10 times or 10 out of 10 times. But he did miss it. I was kind of hopeful for it to go overtime. I'm not sure if it would have made a difference, as we also had took Chris Paul to go over 9.5 assists. He ends up only with 7. Now, with this one, he had 6 assists at halftime. So I for sure thought we were going to be able to green this one. But unfortunately, he only ends up with 1 assist in the second half. Jason Tatum goes off for 40 points. Anthony Davis only ends up with 8 out of the 13 rebounds that we needed. He had a great game on the offensive end. He ended up with 39 points. So he pretty much just decided to use all his energy on the offensive end instead of going after rebounds. And then Mikal Bridges goes well above his line of points and rebounds at 27.5. He finishes up with 41. So 4-2 day. Definitely want to keep that momentum going into today's picks. So let's go ahead and get into him. I'm going to be bringing out my top 6 picks for today's NBA slate of games. We got a decent slate, only 6 games, but let's go ahead and hop into them. For my first pick, I'm going to be going to the assist category, and I'm going to be taking CJ McCollum over 5.5 assists against the Sacramento Kings. Now, over his last 5, he's pretty much averaging what the line is at 5.4. He's hit the over in 2 out of his last 5, but a couple of those games came right on the hook with 5 against Golden State and the Raptors. Now, as I mentioned, they're going up against the Kings tonight. Now, for the season, the Kings are allowing the 5th most assists per game to opposing point guards, and over the last 7 it doesn't get better, as they're allowing the most assists per game to opposing point guards. So This should be a good matchup for him, as we know the Kings are a fast-paced team. Not really a lot of defense being played on their part. But I expect this to be a close game, a competitive game. And I expect him to at least get 6 assists. On top of that, the Pelicans are dealing with a couple injuries to some of their guards, as Alvaro, their backup point guard, is going to be out for this one with an injury. And then Josh Richardson is also going to be out due to personal reasons. So this should leave for McCollum to get a couple more minutes, a little bit more, obviously more playing time. And I think he should get at least 6 assists for us here today. He is averaging 5.9 assists, pretty much 6 assists for the season. So like I said, I think this is a good matchup for him. So I'm going to be taking CJ McCollum over 5.5 assists for my first pick. For my second pick, I'm going to be going to a PRA prop. I'm going to be going to the Hawks and Heat game. And I'm going to be taking Bam Adebayo over 31.5 PRAs. Now, I know he's been struggling here lately, except last game that they did just play the same Hawks team 2 nights ago. He did go over, but other than that, he has not hit his over in those previous 4 games. He is averaging 29.6 PRAs for the last 5 games, but obviously that average went up due to that 46 PRAs that he got last game against the Hawks. Now, like I did just mention, they're going up against the Hawks, and he has fared well against the Hawks, or played well, should I say, against the Hawks this season. Overall, he's gone over this line in 5 straight matchups against the Hawks, and that includes all 3 matchups this season. In the 3 matchups this season that he's had 41 PRA, 38 PRA, and obviously the 46 he just had 2 nights ago. So I think this is a good matchup for him. Obviously, he tends to play well against the Hawks. So I'm going to be taking Bam Adebayo over 31.5 PRAs for my second pick. For my third pick, I'm going to be going to the same game, just the other side. I'm going to go to a points prop. I don't think a lot of people are going to be taking this prop, but I'm going to I have a gut feeling this should be a good game for Trey Young. So I'm going to be taking the over on 23.5 points for Trey Young. I know he just had a horrible game against where he had 8 points against the Heat. He had a horrible shooting game. But I expect this to be a bounce back spot for him. Now, against the Heat, before their last matchup where he only had 8 points, as I just mentioned, he did go over in 4 of his previous 5. So, like I said, I expect this to be a good bounce back spot for him. It is a back-to-back for the same team, so there are going to be adjustments made on both sides. I don't expect him to have an 8-point performance again. I know that the Heat are a great defensive team against point guards, or just overall. But I think Trey Young is a good enough player to where he can, light it up from 3, as we know. And I expect him to at least get 24 for us today. So I'm going to be taking Trey Young over 24 points, over 23.5 points for tonight. For our fourth pick, we're going to go ahead and go to a points and assists category, going down to the Denver and Raptors game. And I'm going to be taking Fred VanVleet over 27.5 points and assists. Now, for the season, Denver is allowing the second most assists per game to opposing point guards and the third most points per game to opposing point guards. So this season they have struggled, obviously, guarding the point guard position. And then in their last matchup, which was last season, where Fred VanVleet did end up playing, he ended up with 30 points and assists, with 25 points and 5 assists. Now, if you're just looking for individual line, the points is definitely the way to go. But here recently, Fred VanVleet has been facilitating the ball pretty good. He's gone, I think they have him at 7 assists for this game, and he's hit that in 5 straight games. He's gone over. So I'm just pairing the two because here recently, you know, as I just mentioned, he has been facilitating the ball very well. And then the defense for the Denver Nuggets is not that great against, point guards, as I just mentioned. So I think VanVleet should have a good game tonight, get us at least 28 points and assists. So I'm going to be taking this over for my 4th pick. For our 5th pick, we're going to be going to a points prop. Well, actually, our last 2 picks are going to be a points prop. Let me just go back to that game, Toronto against Denver, because I'm going to be taking the under on Jamal Murray, 21.5 points. Now, here recently over his last 5, as you guys can see, he's averaging 19.8, hitting the over in only 2 out of those 5 games. But he's played the Raptors 9 times in his career and has only hit this over 2 out of 9 games in his career. Now, also he's averaging in those 9 games, those 9 career games, he's averaging 15.3. So he hasn't fared well against the Raptors throughout his career. And then for the season, the Raptors are allowing the 5th least points per game to opposing point guards. And in their last 7, it doesn't get any better for Jamal Murray, as the Raptors are allowing the 2nd least points per game to opposing point guards. So I think the Denver offense is obviously going to run through Jokic. And obviously, I don't think Jamal will be able to get his points tonight. So I'm going to be taking this under. And for our last pick, we're sticking to the points category. And I'm going to be taking Joel Embiid over 32.5 points. Over his last 5, he's averaging right about this line at 32.2. He did only go over 2 out of his last 5 games. Those 2 games were against Dallas and Boston. Now, tonight, they're going up against the Pacers. Now, the Pacers and Philly have matched up 2 times or played 2 times thus far this season. Embiid only played in 1 of those games. And in that 1 game, he did go under with only 26 points, but he did only play 28 minutes. So that's pretty much a minute per game. He did play 2 times last season against the Pacers, and he pretty much killed them, as he ended up with 45 points in 1 game and 41 in another. So I don't expect a 40-point bomb, but I definitely expect him to at least get 33 points for us tonight, as the Pacers this season are allowing the 6th most points per game to opposing center for the season, and also the 6th most points per game over their last 15 games. So they've had trouble this season and here recently guarding opposing centers. And Embiid is pretty much one of the 2 best centers, if not the best center in the NBA currently. Obviously, is between Embiid and Jokic. But I think offensively, Embiid is going to have it rolling tonight. So that's why I'm going to be go ahead and take Embiid for my 6th and last pick. So just to do a quick recap of my picks, we're going to be taking the over on CJ McCollum's. Pretty much the over on all our picks that I mentioned, except Jamal Murray. We're going to be taking the under. And then as always, if you guys agree with any of my plays, do your own research. Just don't take my word for it. And also here at No Limit Bets, we like to go with the low risk, high reward. So I'm going to be placing a $5 entry for the possibility of winning the 125. Let's go ahead and place that entry. And that's going to be it for today's videos, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the games tonight. And we'll be back here tomorrow. Let's get this money.